On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about what makes Skyrim so great and what Elder Scrolls 6 needs to do to take its place on the throne. We also have our gameplay in Starfield, Elder Scrolls Online, and Skyrim.
What secret was hidden within Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard? Who's really responsible for the Fallout game series? And how did Starfield sales fare in the wake of the recent release of Crimson Desert?
Main topic.
All right, let's get into our main topic, which is what makes Skyrim so great. Other than the fact that it's a kick-ass game that has multiple story aspects, multiple ways you can play your character, and you can switch it up at any time, many different ways you can build it, and so many mods to support it. And they did a lot of extra content to that game. They did a good job with their core. I'm not like belief, but their core design aspect that they work on in Elder Scrolls is to make the game feel endless. There's all these kinds of different arguments about the main story of Skyrim, and to be real, there's like 2 or 3 main stories that can be considered as main stories in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And then what does Elder Scrolls 6?
Dragonborn, then you got the
you got the Dragonborn storyline. Yep, you got the Civil War. I can think and talk tonight. And of course, my allergies are kicking in, so my voice is getting all shot, so forgive me for that. No, it wasn't the graphics of Skyrim. Like we talked about, it was definitely all the content available to you, and it was so easy to get sidetracked in that game. You can start doing the Dragonborn storyline, and then you wind up 100 hours later realizing, wait, I never got past the second part of that main story because I got too sidetracked doing all these other quests that were drawing me here and there and there and there. Next thing you know, you're all over the map, and there's so many different things to discover in that map, and the Daedric weapons, and it's something like 200 or 300 stories rolled into one game.
There's a lot to it. It's a great map. You got a lot of different. You got the Stormcloaks, you got the Imperials, you got the Thalmor, you got the Reachmen. You got the Dark Brotherhood. You got the Thieves Guild. You got the Bard's College. You got the College of Winterhold.
Yeah.
There's so much content, and all along the way, you're watching your little map pop up with a giant camp and a cave and a mine where you get materials. And this is just the base game. We're not talking about the Hearthfire,
what we call the Explorables.
Dragonborn DLC. Yeah. All the great mechanics that were added to the game. Personally, I really liked the. I liked Hearthfire. Hearthfire. Hearthstone is the card game.
Right.
Hearthfire. I really enjoyed it because I liked the building mechanic of it. I mean, it was kind of like it was pre-designed. You can kind of pick like what rooms and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was already played because I'm not a decorator, so I like that.
Yeah, me neither.
Everything is where it needs to be when you upgrade your houses and stuff in Skyrim. It's a lot of fun. Not to mention the mod support for the game. Insane. So much.
People always used to say, like, well, you're a designer. Why don't you do interiors? Well, because I was a designer, not an interior designer. I can design you a map and a dungeon that would drive you insane and be the best thing ever, but I'll have someone else do the fancy stuff inside.
Right. The carts and the boxes and the crates. And
yeah. And to be real, a lot of people complained about certain things in Skyrim when it released. They complained about the graphics. They complained heavily about the combat. I enjoy the combat, but that's just how my playstyle is preferred. But with all the complaints, it still holds out, and people are still playing it. We've heard stories of people who only play Skyrim since its release, 16 years later.
Hi, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's... God, there's just so much to the game. At the time, it actually looked great. At the time, there wasn't a whole lot in the way of fantasy-style RPGs. I think it filled a little bit of a niche. Just plus everything that was available to do in the game.
Honestly,
You know,
Elder Scrolls is kind of its own niche. It's a very much an action RPG, but it's an open world action RPG.
Yeah.
And there are things that I think that would be critical for Elder Scrolls 6. Like, they need to keep that endless feeling, obviously. That's going to be critical.
Yeah.
And keeping the combat flow that you're used to in Elder Scrolls. I think one of the big things that they're going to really need to focus on and work on, and the technology's there to do it, is to eliminate loading screens.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to probably happen when you zone into a dungeon, but briefly, and that's no big deal. But when you're in the open world,
Right.
it should be seamless.
Well, I was just playing it this week, and there's not a lot for the loading screens. You get a loading screen when you fast travel. You get a loading screen when you walk into a building. It's not that bad. It's not, honestly, I hate to say it, but Starfield is definitely worse for loading screens. But it's also a different game. So loading screens is one thing. Now, what about these rumors that there's going to be ships in Elder Scrolls 6?
There might be some basis behind it, from what I heard.
Now, just based on what I've experienced in other games, like, let's say, like the Assassin's Creed games. Way back in Assassin's Creed 3 is the first time that you had ship command. So, I'm curious to see how they handle the mechanics of that.
Some of my favorite games
what I don't
involved
what I don't want to
ships.
do is like the Dragonborn DLC, you get dragons, but you don't actually like fly them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that from the ships. I want to be able to pilot, navigate,
and sing shanties.
and sing sea shanties. Indeed. Give me some Skyrim sea shanties.
I think they really need to focus on cleaning the game up, with especially the bad report they've been getting about bugs lately. It needs to be pretty spotless. I know it's going to be a giant game. We already know it's going to be several times larger than Skyrim and Oblivion combined. They need to work on NPC reactions. They need to have more romanceable options, far more, with deeper, more meaningful interactions with NPCs.
Absolutely.
Because you really want to...
Like, you had your choices in Skyrim, but all you had to do was wear the amulet of Mara and then, like, hey, want to get married? There wasn't really very much there.
Yeah.
So we want some depth.
Yeah, well, like they did with Starfield, but with more options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
It'd be awesome if you could romance any character, but the logic behind that is insane, because you have to write every single story for every NPC, which becomes impossible. The only way they can get around that is be using AI, but a lot of people don't really want that either. And we know the story is going to be good. That's just how Elder Scrolls rolls. I don't think I've ever seen a story from them that hasn't been great. People argue that Starfield's main story was blah. I liked it. I had fun with it.
Well, I mean, when the problem with Starfield's main story, I think that a lot of people take exception to, is that there's so much in the middle of it that's repetitive.
Yeah.
That you have to do over and over and over again, and I think that takes away. So we need at least one definitive main story, or more. Like
multiple.
Skyrim, we had two because we had the Civil War. So
I would love to have the situation again where no one can agree on what the main story is, because there's too many good options.
100%. Make sure your POIs are unique. Make sure your NPCs are believable. They're not just wooden cutouts.
Let's do a little quick thing. I want to do a wish list, like what we personally would love to see in Elder Scrolls 6, because I already have some ideas. I want to see a very robust magic system that's a blend of Skyrim's magic, and that was easy to use, but also have the magic crafting from Oblivion.
Okay.
And kind of combine those so you can get really creative with how you do your spells. Because I didn't do many magic playthroughs in Skyrim because it was just a pain in the ass for me. And I want to see more combat options. You have two-hander, dual wielding, one-hand sword on board, magic, and healing. There's more than that. Like pole arms and things like that. I think that'd be great. Get more options in there, and ways to blend them. They can give us ways to create some of our own moves. That'd be incredible. That might be going too far. What was the other thing I was just thinking about that I wanted to see? Do you have anything? Well, I can think.
Well, I definitely want to see Return of the Dark Brotherhood.
Yes, well, that's a must. Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood.
That.
Oh, that's what it was. I want to get more of the Dwemer story.
Yes.
I want to fucking finally find out more about the Dwemer and what happened to him. Maybe even meet one somehow?
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be really awesome, actually.
And even maybe have Dwemer engineering in there so you can create your own Dwemer contraptions.
Like some dwarven steampunk, like actually like on the...
Yeah.
I mean, you're exploring, like who else is exploring all the Dwemer ruins or Blackreach? Come up with this, like, why don't we see more of that in the wider world? And this is going to be presumably many, many, many years later. I definitely, because of where, like, I'm seeing articles this week specifically that are hardcore calling it Elder Scrolls 6 Hammerfell.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that.
I saw it's not confirmed.
Hell no.
I've seen multiple, and if it takes place in Hammerfell and High Rock,
we know it's going to be named after one of the continents.
Yeah, you got the Bay Corsairs, so you have to have, like, the ships have to be involved. That has to be an option.
Dude, if I can have Assassin's Creed Black Flag in Elder Scrolls,
there we go.
I'd pee myself in excitement. They need to make it the ultimate fantasy world simulator.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, man! Like you're in my head. That's what I was about to say. I just want a really good fantasy story. I want it to have depth. I want it to have options. You know, if I go, take the left path and the right path is no longer available to me, consequences. Give me a reason to play it over and over again. Give me a reason to do a new game plus. A new game plus would be great.
Well, yeah.
How,
that was not a thing, but
a prisoner, don't you? And Elder Scrolls games,
normally
prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but even still,
it'd be hilarious if we wake up on a ship with some Nord or some guy sitting there, and you're finally awake.
But yeah, I want it to feel like a Bethesda game. Bethesda at its peak, which is arguably Skyrim. They really got to knock this one out of the park.
Yeah, they need to take what made Skyrim successful and expand on it.
100%. 100%.
And we are obviously a Bethesda fan cast. I am a huge Elder Scrolls fan, so there's a lot riding on this game for me personally. I am beyond excited about it and chomping at the bit for any information I can get, but I also know to be very careful about what I see online because there's nothing confirmed. I just have a lot of hope for it, and I have confidence that they're going to deliver.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it.
Well, let's get into our gameplay, because I'm probably going to think of 1,000 things after we get done recording about I wish I would have said about it, but we don't have all night.
We don't, unfortunately. But yeah, go ahead. Why don't you start us off before your voice gives out?
Yeah.
It's time for our gameplay of the week.
So I'm going to get into the fun one before I get into Starfield. I did a lot of Starfield, but me and Mrs. Wigit have been playing ESO together. She's got through the opening areas with her warden. We started playing together with like level 14 or 15. We got her an ESO subscription so she can unlock everything and have the crafting bag and all that good stuff. And you have to have the subscription or at least buy DLC before you can get companions. And we want to get her a companion. We thought it would be awesome because we're both DPSers. I'm a magic DPSer. She's bow. And I have Isabel as my tank, my companion. We want to get her a healing companion. We did some research, and we found out there's this new one, a Xandar, that I have never unlocked. Okay. He's an Arcanist, like my character. Is supposedly the best healing companion in the game. So we had to go and get him. You have to do a long quest to do it. We started it. It's in one of those Daedra zones, which are always weird. Hermaeus Mora's zone, I think. The big eyeball with squigglies. The god of knowledge or whatever. That's Daedra of knowledge. Yeah. And we were walking by a public dungeon. I was telling Kilo this during a break. And I gave her, Mrs. Wigit, a taste of dungeons as we tried to do it, just the two of us and Isabel. Took on the main boss and nearly beat it. We had it probably down to 15% remaining. She died 5 or 6 times. My companion died halfway through, and I can't res him. Oh, it was so much fun, but she's getting the bug and getting the itch. So we got Xandar unlocked. So she's going through that. We got him equipped with a healing staff, so he's going to heal, and changed out his skills so he's only has healing abilities. And then we decided to go and do a zone together because we're both Daggerfall Alliance, and she's already started doing the Daggerfall's main story, and I'm already well into it. So we decided not to do that because we want to do something together. And there's all the other zones in the game that we can do now together. So we decided to go do Elsewhere because it has dragons. And the main story is based off of dragons. So, yeah.
There you go.
We're heading out there and doing it and having an absolute blast. I'm level 31, she's level 21, and there's no problems or issues with us playing together. That's one thing I love about this game. I could be level 50 and her level 2, and we can still play together and have a blast. And it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk more about it as her and I dive more into it. She's getting a lot better, getting used to it. She's never played an MMO before, let alone an action RPG, so it's been a learning curve.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. I was telling Kilo earlier, I'm Kilo. I was telling Wigit earlier. Wow. That's pretty cool because it's like a whole different set of, skills. Like,
yeah,
it would be tricky for Mrs. Kilo to get into that because just having to react fast and know the controls, that's tricky. It's a different skill set as a gamer. So that's pretty good. Kudos to Mrs. Wigit.
It makes me excited because I got home from. I came home for lunch today, and she was booting up Elder Scrolls. Getting on to play.
Like, let's go!
Well, then Wigit Jr. woke up, and that curbed that. We normally just play Elder Scrolls online when he's asleep. He's 6 months old,
What are you going to do?
We play our other game with him on my lap. Oh, I have the cutest picture ever of him playing, sitting on my lap while we were playing on the Switch 2. Our game we play together, Stardew Valley. Very simple, yeah. Having a blast with it. Anyway, I have a picture of him going after my controller with like this intense interest in his face.
Yes.
He's a gamer already at 6 months old. One of us. So, Starfield. I already mentioned the fact that I completed all the new content, and I'm been doing a lot more Watchtower. And there was this one Watchtower listening post I came across that was very fascinating. I didn't know this was even possible. But when I got on planet and I always approach sneakily, I'm a sniper, and I noticed there was a bunch of activity happening. And I put on my Sense Star stuff, and the whole area gets lit up with terramorphs and Watchtowers. In this massive combat outside the Watchtower post.
No way.
Just laying waste to each other. There was 7 or 8 freaking terramorphs out there, and probably 12 Watchtower guards. I watched them kill each other to where there was 3 terramorphs remaining and about 3 or 4 Watchtower left. And I just killed them all.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and there was a storage room inside the Watchtower listening post that was an expert lock. So I, of course, had to unlock it and see what was inside. All I found inside was a dead body of a Watchtower watchman. That's it. Nothing else. Guy had nothing on him. Yeah. Very weird. And then I came across this huge Watchtower listening post that was embedded in a crater on a planet. So it was like the ideal sniper situation. Like shooting fish in a barrel. And there was 2 mechs and probably a good 20 or 30. It was so much fun. I think I have a video of me taking them out. So I'll probably post that while I'm talking. I had my incursion count was up to 11 before I decided to start going and doing the incursions. You have minor incursions and major incursions. Minor ones are super easy to clear. It's usually on planet, and they're usually taking over some kind of small like outpost or something on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, the one I did had 4 people there, 4 Terrans, and I just took them out and it cleared it. The major ones, you have to take out a ship or two. I had one that had 2 ships I had to go into, one of the zero gravity ones and one of the ones that was normal, and it was a major freaking fight. Like, to the point it took me an hour and a half to do one corridor.
Whoa.
I have a video of that too, because it's insane when you get these multiple elites that have 3 different, not aspects, the new buffs that they get.
Yeah.
And it was, when they mesh with each other, it can get insane. And it was, it was a lot about the damage they were doing. So here's the kicker. They would one-shot me with a submachine gun. I went and got rid of my introvert, which you go to the well, and you go to the House of Enlightened, and you talk to him, and he gives you this, like, these sessions, coaching sessions.
Yeah.
And you get rid of it. And then I went to Neon and got rid of my other one, the one that was hurting me the most. What was it called? Where you have less health and oxygen when in space?
Grounded?
Terra firma.
Terra firma.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
And it was really hurting me doing incursions, because I'm in space doing those most of the time.
Right.
So you get rid of that inside a Neon Medical Center. Quick, easy, painless. So I only have one left, and that's alien DNA. And it was still one-shotting me with freaking submachine guns. Non-elites. It is blowing my mind. I have great armor, and I still can't figure... I've been learning how to do modifying my armor finally, so I'm putting mods on my armor, and it's still kicking my ass. So I decided to do an experiment. I wanted to see what it would take, because I got a white hard target that had no upgrades to the quality. So as bare bones as you can possibly get. No mods of any kind. I wanted to see how much it would take to build that to my ultimate sniper using the new system.
Okay.
So here's what I got. So you can actually build your insane weapon from a white quality, but you got to be prepared to spend a lot of credits. I'm talking a ton of credits, a lot of resources to put all your mods on. I'm maxed out on my weapon crafting, so I can put on anything. I put on... Okay, here's the list of what I did. I'll put some information up on the screen if you're watching on the YouTube, but it's an exotic hard target now, so it's higher than legendary, with a base damage of 1990.4. It has instigating on it, so it does double damage with target's full health. I had to get to where I had to do reroll 5 times so I can select it. And you have to do that for each legendary. You have to reroll it up to 5 times. If you don't get what you want, you can finally select which one you want. So on the 6th time, you can select it. But you have to do that for each one. I got lucky on my last 2, though, and like the 3rd or 4th roll, I got it. So I got that one. I got Hitman, which is plus 15 damage while aiming. Duh. And I got Shattering. So it breaks through the strongest armor. So those 3 alone is insane. But then I put Reckless on it, my 4th legendary. That's the one we were talking about on the show, where you get only 1 shot magazine, 1 round in the magazine, and it does insane damage. So I put that in there. I put in a long barrel, long scope, suppressor, tactical grip, penetrator rounds, high powered, and I ran out of X-Tech because I was started upgrading the quality. I got too advanced and I ran out of X-Tech. So I went and did some incursions, got more X-Tech, came back, and I put it all the way up to exceptional. And it increased my base damage to 2428. When you put in all my buffs and everything that my character has for my sniping, its base damage is 9,960 per shot. So, here's how much it cost. It cost 850,000 credits for me to build this rifle.
Wow, man.
And that was mostly going with the quality, but also the rolls cost several thousand, like 15 to 25,000, depending on the legendary spot.
Right.
Or 30,000. It gets insane, and it costs just around 20 X-Tech to do it. And that can go much higher, up to like 30 or 35, depending on how many rerolls you do. So it's a very, very, very expensive venture. And then after I did all this, I found out that there's an NPC now in the game that you can now he'll charge you half the cost for weapon upgrades, saving you 415,000. And that's Buck E. And he's located at the scrapyard in Nira, Niira. And he'll give you a discount half off on all weapon upgrades.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a new thing. And that's what I spent a lot of time doing incursions, things like that. But
that's bonkers. And
I built this insane rifle, and I've been playing with it, and it is a godsend. It's the best thing ever. I did cheat and gave myself credits to make this gun. And load up with 300,000, be like, okay, that should be enough. Nope, had to load up another 300,000. Had to load up another 300,000.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's very expensive, but you can build insane weapons with it. What have you been up to, man?
Cool, man. Skyrim.
Of course.
I got back into Skyrim. First of all, I loaded up Skyrim because I own it, So, of course, because I've bought it fucking 4 times at this point. But I loaded it up, and it right there on the screen, it said upgrade to Anniversary Edition.
So, of course, you had to.
Did that. Yeah.
That's the best edition.
It was, dude, it was so cool. Because you go into, first of all, you got Creation Club there, and all of the Creation Club content included. Now, I did have a little bit of issues downloading the Creation Club. Every once in a while, I'd download a creation, and it would close out the creations menu on me. So a couple of them I had to go back in there for. I didn't download like all of them. I think I got the houses, I got the backpack, I got the scout armor.
I'm wondering, does a firmware error in your Xbox?
Possibly. She's old. It could be. I mean that would explain Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go into mods. Now, I have not yet gone back into. If you go down in my Instagram, if you scroll back far enough. This is on Kilo Tango 1122. You will find load orders for Fallout and for Skyrim. I went with what was in my library, and I got everything up and running. I had to make a couple changes. Like I had this weird bug where, because I'm using UNP for the body mods, and I had this weird. I don't know what it was, but it messed with the anatomy. Of the ladies quite a bit.
Oh yeah, those are the good ones.
That one out. Yeah, and I don't have everything loaded up yet because I'm being very careful. But especially because I was really big into the environment mods. And I've told the story before. If you haven't heard,
they put a lot of those in the game version you got.
A lot of them are in there. But there is also a lot of stuff in there that I had before. So I'm trying to be very careful with what I'm doing as far as my loader is concerned. Because, a few years back, it was actually, according to my Xbox, 2020 was the last time I played Skyrim. And back then, my kids walked in when I was loading it up, and they were laughing at me because the graphics looked so bad. And then 3 days later, I'm like, hey, check this out. And they're like, whoa! Because I had all these mods, like environment mods and lighting mods and everything like that. And actually the lighting right now, at least the lighting at night looks pretty amazing. I sent some pictures to Wigit for that. I have a lot of stuff that I do some stuff that's conflicting, but it's not game breaking. So I loaded in the game. This is a funny part. You're talking about, hey, you're finally awake. When I started the game itself, everything, like the cart, the horses, the guys, they were all like standing T-pose for about 2.5 seconds. Because normally you're supposed to start with a black screen and then it slowly fades in.
Right.
2.5 seconds, you can see everything. It was just chilling out. And then all of a sudden it loaded and then it continued. Like it went back to the black screen and then it loaded on. I'm like, oh, okay, well that was interesting. It's just like it's just everybody standing there like it was almost like file, like rank and file.
Right.
Like in a band or, military march or something. It was fun.
Dan Hood.
What do you mean? And I decided I was going to not fight it, and I was going to go stealth archer from the very beginning.
Yes, good man.
So from the very beginning, because I know I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll have a Nord, and he'll be like dwarven armor, and he'll be all badass, swinging a two-handed weapon, and I'm like, that's not gonna last. As soon as I start the Brotherhood or the Thieves Guild storylines,
that changes in a heartbeat.
From the very beginning. So I went Imperial for my guy, and then I have like a bunch of companion mods.
Traitor.
Indigo and Sophie and Lucia, I think. I have this other one. I think it's Freya. I sent a picture to Wigit, and we're in Dragon's Reach, in the Jarl's main chamber. Which, curiously enough, when I got promoted to Thane of Whiterun, Lydia didn't show up.
No,
which is weird.
I wonder if one of your companion mods conflicted with it.
It could be, because this one was just walking around. The picture here. This one was just walking around, and I walked up to her. I'm like, "Hey, follow me," and then that was it. Like, and then she was my companion. But in the picture, it's hilarious because she's like a head taller than me because she's a Nord,
right?
And I'm an Imperial, and I have the immersive heights mod because I didn't like that like everybody was like the same height, so I went with that mod, and it basically, it's like lore accurate.
Death by snoo.
And to death by snoo.
Yeah!
Death by snoo. 100%. So, but the game, it holds up. I did Riverwood. I went with the Stormcloaks right off the rip, because he was the of the two guys that you're supposed to follow. He was the one that wasn't trying to kill me a minute ago. Everything looks beautiful. I want to play with the flora. I know I had some other mods on there for plants and stuff that made it look a little better. The water looks great. Sky looks good. I got Majestic Mountains on there. A lot of good stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm very happy with it.
I'm huge into the whole graphics component. That's one thing I forgot to mention is I also went through and finally, after having this computer for over a year, decided to go in and tweak my video card in all the settings, because the default settings with video cards on PCs usually are trash. So I went through and tweaked it, and for some reason HDR was not turned on my main monitor, even though it fully supports HDR. It was just set to SDR standard. So I flipped that on, and I went through and tweaked everything, and Starfield looks amazing. I was going to go look at ESO, but I didn't have time.
Yeah, it looks great.
So vibrant.
Clean. Definitely. Well, how about a mod? I got a mod this week. Okay, real quick, there is a mod. Skyrim gets challenging. Free game mode Dark Souls gamers will love. And this is Soul Fade by Black Spine.
Of course, it's a Skyrim mod.
59. It's a Skyrim mod. It is pretty cool if you're a Dark Souls fan. So basically in this, the Dragonborn is immortal, but you weaken every time you die.
If you're immortal, how are you supposed to die in the first place?
Well, here's the thing. Every 10 deaths, you go through what's called a soul fade. And through this, you get a debuff that varies from 15% to 75% chance that you deal no damage with a hit. There's only really one way to fix it. You have to do a soul sacrifice, which requires a dragon soul to complete.
It doesn't make any sense. If you're immortal, you don't die.
Apparently he died at some point. That's just what the damn article said, all right? Take it up with Black Spine.
I will. Damn it.
His whole problem is that he was looking for death mods, and nothing really seemed to work right. It didn't do what he wanted to do. So
that's how some of the best mods are created. They can find what they want in the game, so they make it.
So they made their own shit, and he did it. And it's pretty good. And then just a couple of comments and reviews this week. Of course, we got a bunch of comments about Gino Machino. A lot of people saying, no, this run in Elder Scrolls is 100% in his wheelhouse. Is actually something that he absolutely did.
It was mixed. A lot of people saying no way, other people saying yes.
One thing I wanted to bring up was Fran. Fran, if you're listening, thank you so much. We got a comment on Spotify. This regard to the old woman POI that you ran into in Starfield, the creepy old lady.
Yeah.
And Fran says, and I don't know if this is a male or a female, so I'm just going to say them. The old woman POI is amazing, and think it might be a hint to the future, to a future DLC. Why else would they make it an achievement? Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, it's an achievement. I didn't know that.
Apparently, that's what France.
Well, I can't do achievements.
Horrors, yeah, it doesn't matter to us. And the Hell's Gate creation are indie indication. Interdimensional shenanigans can give us some very interesting creatures.
I'm still convinced this is kind of hinting at future intelligent life in Body Snatcher's form.
Yeah. Yep. So that was it. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks for the comment, friend.
I think
that's a show.
I think that's a damn show.
Yes, that's a wrap, man.
Awesome.
So how can they reach us?
You want? So if you want to reach us, the easiest way to do it is go to our link tree. That's our link tree, and our email and our Discord are all in the cards of the episode description. But if you can't read, I'll say it. It's linktr.ee/wyrdkhaosmedia. Weird is WYRD, chaos with a K, media. And our email is wyrdkhaosmedia@gmail.com. If you want to contact us for advertising, business, or just to say hi, feel free to do that.
Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon. You know you want to. You know it's a must. You feel it in your heart. It's the right thing to do. So do it.
It is the right thing to do.
And then while you're at it, go comment and give us a 5-star review on Spotify and iTunes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And rate us too.
Yeah, love it.
5 stars.
Yep, has to be. There's no option. If you hate us, it's a 5-star. If you love us, 5-star. Yep. We don't give a crap about options. It's only one option.
Nope, we don't make the rules. No, we
That's
do.
The way it is. Well, for this show, we do. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching and listening. And I really hope you have an amazing week out in Bethesdaverse. And don't forget to go check out Kill 'Em Kindly.
Peace out.